Hey everyone, it is the Charming Giraffe, and today we are going to seal this acrylic pour painting using this acrylic gloss by Sargent Art. It can be used as a varnish or a medium, so today we are going to use it as a varnish. Just a couple things here. I had to shake this a whole bunch. I'll show you a picture right now of it had separated, so I don't know how well that's going to work, so we're going to find that out. But here's what it looked like before I shook it. And then as far as the directions, it says that it's permanent finish, water reducible, non-yellowing, clean with soap and water before drying, shake well before use, which I did. And then for special instructions, for varnish use, you use over finish work to protect and enhance and increases color depth. And then it gives you the instructions for medium use. So we'll see how this goes. I am going to use the pour and tilt method, and I am going to go ahead and tape the sides off as well and see how all that goes. So I'll speed you up through this process while I get the sides of this canvas taped off. So I've got the canvas taped off. I'm going to go ahead and start using this. It said shake well. I did that, but there's definitely a lot of bubbles in here, so we'll see how that impacts. I really hope it dries clear. I'm really nervous. I'm going to use a little bit at a time and just tilt and add more if I need to. Which it looks like I'm going to need to. And then I'll have to make a decision if I'm going to torch it or not. I wasn't going to, because concentrating, because sometimes depending on the varnish, it can like run it when it cures, and this is clumpy, so in the future, if I like it, it will be imperative to strain it first, which is an extra step I'm not too fond of. I don't know what's going on here. So far, not impressed. It's almost just like how like acrylic paint gets clumpy. Like it just falls apart. It's not like big old chunks. It's just like it's not mixed very well. And there's quite a few. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of them, but that's not cool. I'm not going to leave this tape on here. I'm going to take it off in just a minute and let what's on the edges kind of run over. It does have a slight odor. If you're really sensitive to smells, that might be a problem, but I'm not, and I actually just now could start smelling it. So it might not bother anyone, but just because I did notice it, I thought I'd mention it. I'm really nervous. really. But you don't know unless you try it. So we're gonna try it. I think I am gonna torch it. Just because I definitely don't see how these bubbles are gonna be good. Be a good thing. I'm gonna run it more this way. Okay. Let's torch it next. Cool. So my torch went crazy. and this happened. It like scorched the varnish. I need to get a new torch. Let's go and pull this tape off. Wasn't exactly ready to remove the tape, but I don't want the tape to catch on fire, so let's eliminate that. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm gonna put some more on to run that scorch part off. Because that can't be good for the painting. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this for a second here. I'll speed you up through this process. I'm gonna get the sides and run probably quite a bit off. Hopefully I'll be able to see the canvas through it shortly. I feel like there's way too much, but we'll find out. So yeah, I'll just run all this off and let it cure and go from there. We'll come back once this layer's dry and see what it looks like. Alright, we are back and this has cured for about a day or two. It was probably touch dry within a couple hours though. I kind of forgot about it, went and did some other things, and then came back and was very pleasantly surprised. So as you can see, it did dry clear, and look at how super glossy this is. And even like the sides are glossy. Just ignore this part. This was a artist error here. I had it like propped up to run off because I thought it was like really thick, and like I said, I forgot about it, so when I picked it up it was kind of stuck to where it was. So that's artist error. That's not the material error there. You can in some spots kind of see the chunks, so if you were going to use this without it being diluted, I'd highly recommend straining it. I think that's it's clear, so like if you just look at it from like straight on, you can't see it. It's not like it's like screaming at you. Also, there's texture on the canvas, and most pours will have texture from the paint. So again, it's not like that big of a deal. That would just be my personal preference. I have diluted it down, so for future pours, I went ahead and did that just so there'd be no air bubbles, because I did feel like the torch made it cure faster. Like it was very runny and flowy while I was tilting it. And then once I hit it with the torch, it like slowed down a lot. So I would definitely not recommend torching it. I won't torch it moving forward. I should have listened to my gut before. But I would, just to prevent air bubbles and stuff, would mix it ahead of time and let the air bubbles dissipate. So that will be the next thing I do. But so far, I really, really like this. As nervous as I was during the beginning part of this video, I'm very pleasantly surprised and thrilled with how this turns out. Definitely 1,000 times easier to use than any other brush on pour sealer that I've used in the past. Even the polyacrylic, I've noticed, can crack if it's not in the right temperature. I need to do some experiments with that and see what temperatures it cracks at and which ones it doesn't, because that's the worst, because you just don't know. Well, I don't know yet. Maybe some of you do, but I don't know yet. But this, it was relatively easy to do. I do plan to do some experiments to see how UV resistant it is. It claims that it's non-yellowing, so I do need to test that out, because that would be terrible to seal a bunch of paintings and then a year later they're all yellow. So it's on the list of things to do, but the next one will be to dilute it with water. About 50-50 is what I think I did, just from memory. I don't really, I didn't measure it or anything. So let me know if you've tried this sealer and pouring medium, specifically as a sealer, but definitely if you use it as a pouring medium too. I may try that in the future as well. And if you plan to try it, and if you have tried it, how do you use it? Do you do it differently than I have? And we can do some tests to see the different methods and how they turn out. So definitely let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and do what makes you happy.